In system tests, Gherkin and Cucumber are two terms that almost always appear together when talking about behavior-driven testing. Gherkin is a descriptive language to describe test cases, and Cucumber is a tool that uses those test cases written in Gherkin and make them executable. So Gherkin is a structured, natural language syntax for describing system behavior. It is human readable and it uses keywords to organize a test case in a way that a non-technical reader can still follow it. The keywords are given, when, then. We will look at this in more detail later. Cucumber is the framework that reads then those Gherkin files, maps each step to code, and executes them as tests. The split is very deliberate, and the Gherkin test cases can be used independent of Cucumber and used in very different ways or also for manual testing. The core pattern of Gherkin describes a test case in a given, when, then structure. Given describes the preconditions, so the state the system is in before the test starts. When translates into the action, so what the user or the test automation has to execute. Then contains the expected outcome, so what should be observed. A simple example is the following. Given a user is logged in, when the user clicks on delete account, then a confirmation dialog appears. This pattern is not new or specific for Gherkin. It is the same precondition, action, and expectation structure that is also used in step-based written test cases that every well-written test case already should follow. Gherkin just enforces it explicitly in a structured form. In Cucumber, each step is then bound to a small piece of code that defines the step, and that code is then what actually drives the system under test. Gherkin and Cucumber are most useful when the test basis is a kind of user story or an acceptance criteria. So with that, the test basis translates directly to the actual test specification. So specification and test specification are closely linked. There's not really a big translation gap between those. That said, it does not fit for every layer of testing because low-level unit tests are better handled when they stay in their native framework, for example, PyTest. Where the usage of Gherkin excels, however, is on functional system tests, acceptance tests, and anything close to user visible behavior. So to summarize, Gherkin is the descriptive language of test cases, and Cucumber, on the other hand, is the framework or the tool that makes the test executable. The given, when, then structure matches the commonly known precondition, action, expectation structure of any good test case. And Gherkin fits best on functional and acceptance tests that are tied to use case descriptions describing the actual user behavior.